it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, and with me, of course, is Katie and Kyle. Katie, we'll start with you. How's your recovery?
It's okay. Could be better. Could be worse.
You're recovering?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So are we talking about the wrist or the meth addiction?
Well,
I'm really weird about teeth, so I would never do meth.
Oh, fair enough.
No, that's a good point. Okay. Kyle, how's your wrist? Is your wrist recovering?
Yeah, it's as good as it's ever been.
Overuse, perhaps? Is that what you were alluding to?
I'm in a weekly physio. I have certain regular motions for it in order for it to stay strong.
All right, good. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Katie, we got some lively engagement from the YouTubes.
All right, eccentric views. Mr. Gino says it would be great to have a little story arc for little Marie, where in the end, she redeems herself. I can't remember if the work print included that. Spoiler alert, if it does. I always appreciate it when they cast the same characters. I'm not a fan when they replace them, like when they swapped Ron Moss as Ridge Forrester. Who's that?
I did not get that reference, and I meant to Google it. I had so much to prep for this show. In a good
sorry,
way.
Gino, we're disappointing you.
Well, it must be an Australian show, maybe. It could be an Australian show.
He's an American actor, musician, singer-songwriter, member of the band Player, best known for portraying Ridge Forrester, the dynamic fashion magnate of the CBS soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. He's a pretty man. His bone, I'm really into nice bone structure, and he's gorgeous.
That is your reference?
The Bold and the Beautiful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Gino. And thank you for always listening, Gino. We appreciate your support, of course. Oh, and regarding my Blu-ray update, I know the Canada Postal Service was on strike for almost a month. It's now almost a month since the Christmas break. I'm a little confused why I haven't gotten it yet. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm getting a little nervous.
God, okay, Brian, there is something, I think you have like a blacklist on your house for getting things delivered.
I know, it's ridiculous. Well, I did get the Rocky coloring book, so stuff has made its way, but yeah, I will keep you posted on the postal situation. Okay.
Then we have one from @KeithWilliams. Hi, greetings from the UK. Hope you all had a great Christmas and a brilliant start to 2025. Your podcast is absolutely brilliant. Keith and my son, Christopher, both listen to your show, and he would love it if you could give him a shout out. It would make his day keep punching. Shout out to Keith and Christopher. Thank you for listening from the UK.
That's awesome. Thanks, Christopher. Christopher, keep punching.
Hey, Christopher. Hey, Keith. You're right.
Let's start doing her British accent. My British accent always turns into an Australian accent for some reason.
I'm not very good, but I do adore the use of brilliant that the Brits do.
That's true.
Yeah. We have a Spotify comment from Patrick Walters.
So we don't get very many, but yes, if you listen to the show via Spotify, which some of our listeners do, you can leave comments on the Spotify app. So if you're a Spotify user, leave us a comment there too. It's cool. Okay.
He says, loved the episode. I have a question. Have you reached out to Elizabeth Peters to be on the podcast?
She plays Jewel.
Also, Jewel's accent reminds me of the girl in the bar in Rocky Balboa. My wife and I love the podcast and listen to all your jokes, insights, and other tidbits in this Rocky universe. Okay. Thanks for the comment.
So he said him and his wife listen. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did do some research. Great suggestion, by the way, to reach out to Elizabeth. Was it Peters?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's Elizabeth with an S.
So I did do some research on her, and I've done it before. When we did the Going the Distance podcast, I did the same type of research to see what their IMDb is, what kind of films they've been in. And she's only done 2 films. She-Devil with Roseanne Barr.
And Meryl Streep.
Yes, right. And she played, I think, Roseanne's daughter in that film. That was the year prior to Rocky V. So Rocky V was her second film. But it's weird. That was it.
That's a pretty big role she landed for like having done one film.
Yeah, 2 films, and both were there with a Meryl Streep and a Stallone film back to back. So it's kind of weird. I wonder if something happened. So I would love to talk to her about this. So I did some research. So I went to IMDb. In the IMDb bio or trivia, she goes by another name. She can go by another name, whether it's a maiden name, married name, I don't know. She goes by Elizabeth Fenstermaker, according to
that'd
IMDb.
be easier to find than Peter's.
Agreed. So I Googled Elizabeth Fenstermaker, and the only thing I could find was a website, and it's a person who is in the arts. It's a LinkedIn website. I got into the website. I'm going to show you guys the website. There is a picture of Liz. Age is correct. Like the age of this person looks about how she would be aged 30 years later now, 40s. I want you to tell me if this is her. So here is the website. I'm going to zoom in on the picture here. What do you think?
Could be.
Face alone, I don't know. But I did note she had a good quality of hair.
Yeah, the
30
hair's
years ago.
there. That's the only picture I could find, and this is her website. I was hoping it would say something like, I was in a film, da-da-da. But she goes, I'm an arts advocate, writer, teacher, and theater maker. So she's definitely still doing theater and art. She's done direction and stuff like that.
Does it say where she lives?
Nothing. This is it.
Okay.
And then here's her contact here. I am going to reach out. Yeah, that's it. I know. I thought that was interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Looks kind of like her 30 years later. Like it could be her, but it's hard to tell sometimes.
I think there's 75 or more % chance it's her.
I'll just say, hey, this is going to be crazy. Da da da. I run a Rocky podcast. Are you the actress that played Jewel? If so, we'd love to talk to you. But yeah, if not, well, good luck on whatever you're doing out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are for comments. So let's go into trivia. Ready? These are some
sounds like it's going to be a tough one.
Okay. Well, this one you'll get for sure. Everyone should get this. Though you didn't get the last joke.
That's what you said last time. So I don't know.
Remember the Madame Foot? This is another joke.
Okay.
But you should get this one. So finish the joke. Finish the joke.
This is the cows one, I bet.
No, that was part 2.
Cows isn't part.
I don't even know what joke you're referring to.
Cows in part 2 when Rocky said, let's get out of this place right now. When he's helped with the feed and he goes, why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So here's the joke. Finish the joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Tuna fish. Tuna fish who? So what is the answer to tuna fish who? You're both writing frantically, which tells me you know the answer. Okay, here's the first tough one, I thought. For me, I'm always bad when it comes to colors. That's why I'm worried. Katie is usually pretty good with colors. What colors are Tommy's robe for the championship fight?
Well, I got the shorts wrong, but...
This is the robe.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was thinking about a conversation I had with a coworker about this joke, and they explained to me why it's wrong.
It is wrong.
And I was trying to remember what her reasoning was, but I can't remember. I was thinking of that so hard, I did not even register what the second question was. I apologize.
I would like to hear why they said it was wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to try and look it up. I'm going to have to get on my Teams on my phone. It's not like the correct form of that kind of joke. And I never realized it until she said it. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'll wait for that to come up in the actual episode, in the actual show. But sorry, could you just repeat the second question?
Yeah, sure. It reminds me of last episode when I was talking about something and Katie was totally distracted because she's still answering the question in her head.
I was trying to think of a name.
Yeah. All right. What colors, so I guess it's more than one, what colors are Tommy's robe for the championship fight?
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you the reasoning for my answer, but I don't want to say that because then you guys might get it. But who gave Tommy his car? Paulie.
It's Adrian. She really liked Tommy a lot. And she's like, you know what? We're going to take out a loan and we're going to get you this car just because we love you so much.
No, they could have given him the Trans Am, but they probably had to sell that in the...
Yeah.
So you guys are doing better than I thought. So maybe there's just 2 questions that will be tough because this next one I think might be tough. How many pounds does Union Cane weigh?
Ooh.
Oh, I usually remember weights too. But...
I'm happy to do with closest to the actual weight, over or under, doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, okay.
Mathematically, who's the closest we'll give the point to.
I think that's a good idea.
Just a wild guess.
Mine's a wild guess.
Union Cane's weight.
Lastly, who says this ain't no pie eating contest? All right. 2 for sure, maybe 3. And if I win the weight, I might get 4. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking when I was putting together the Ryan recut or whatever Rocky 5 cut, guys, this is going to be a long season. Well, because it's just going to be a lot of episodes because it's going to take us forever to get through this film. We might be able to tackle the training montage. As you know, a training montage is usually a whole episode. We maybe will start it, but not finish it. So if we can just start it, but we don't have to finish it. Here's a tease. After the training montage on the work print, they totally did, like, it's out of order, certain things. I'll explain it when we get there, but they actually filmed. It's kind of cool. Well, what I'm saying is we see the actual scenes play out like they weren't in the montage. Things like with them playing with the speed bag or whatever it is that they put in the montage with the music over top of it. We actually see those scenes just being filmed like they weren't going to be in a montage in the work print. So it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'm excited. Hey, I just want to go the distance to prove that I'm not just some bum from the podcast network.
Well, we have a long way to go for that.
Were we going to do UK Dave's?
I knew there was something. You're right. And I actually came totally prepared for that. Thank you for reminding me. UK Dave, we're going to do the next 3 actor suggestions.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I hadn't seen her in a long time, and I was telling her that I do the podcast, and she has never seen Rocky before.
Oh.
But she has started listening to the show. So
weird.
How old is she?
She's 40.
Oh, so she's not like a 20-year-old, but okay. I can't wait to hear what she thinks.
Yeah, she said she liked the first one, so I don't know if she'll keep listening, but
I mean of the movie. Is she gonna watch the movie?
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully.
I don't care what she thinks of the movie. I just want her to like her podcast. Who cares about the movie?
I feel like this podcast would not be very fun for someone who hasn't seen it.
I swear we've had some listeners who hadn't seen the movies, didn't we? I swear that's happened, but I could be wrong. They were almost watching the movie with us while we're doing the show. UK Dave a while back sent us. Gino actually commented on this on our YouTube. Goes, you can't redo or recast Rocky. To all those people, no offense, Gino, because I'm sure he's not the only one. This is called a thought experiment. This is called what if. It's not happening. Don't worry. The sacred ground of Rocky will not be altered. We're just having fun with the universe where this, no matter how much you hate the idea, this is happening, and we're going to do what we think is the best version or talk about the casting choices. So UK Dave played that game with himself on a late night work shift, and he's now sending us his ideas, and we're going to shite on them and and I actually have replacements. I did some research.
Okay. He says for Apollo, Daniel Kaluuya. Oh. He was like in Get Out.
Yeah. Good actor. Great actor.
He is a great actor.
For Apollo.
Okay. I have thoughts. What do you guys think?
I have thoughts too. Great actor. It's a no for me though.
Exactly. Same. Not for Apollo, but love him as an actor.
Okay. Kyle, did you have any yeses or no regarding
Daniel Kaluuya?
I don't know him, so I
look him up.
Okay. Oh, okay. Trying to see what's he in.
Get Out is what I know him from, but he's in a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I don't
There's
think I've
Katie's
seen Get
pick
Out.
for. Sorry, we're all over the place. This is gonna be a fun edit.
Sorry,
it's okay. I always make it work. My editing magic will make it work. I apologize to our live watchers. Okay.
So this is why I haven't seen him in anything. So
that's going to be hard.
I can't tell you. I'm just going to give a neutral response. Like I don't know enough to say yes or no. He doesn't look bad though. Like he looks like he could play the part maybe, but
he could bulk up, but he is not an athletic, muscular person.
Right. No, good actor.
Daniel.
So
for a second, I was like looking at the guy in the screen. I'm like,
no.
Yeah.
Bobby is an athletic. He looks like a boxer. Whereas Daniel, he's just like a regular.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, like they bulked up Will Smith big time to play Muhammad Ali. Like I was surprised.
But he already had a muscular
Will Smith
build.
He was real skinny though. Like he had to put on some weight to become.
He did. Daniel just is not. He's not trying to play athletes, and therefore his body is not at all athletic looking.
Okay.
So listeners, my pick is Bobby J. Thompson. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see him here. What do you guys think of my pick?
I've never heard of this guy. He definitely looks the part. He's right now has a physique without having to do the Hollywood bulk up. But Kyle's right. Every actor from Tom Holland to you think of all these other Marvel actors, Chris Evans, who are just normal body builds, but they do the Marvel program. They can bulk up. Chris Pratt. That's always an easy fix. 9 months later, 8 months later, they've got this incredible physique. But that being said, this gentleman here already seems to have that physique. If I was a casting director, my choice is a gentleman named Stephen James. He's actually a Canadian actor.
I can see him as Apollo.
Yeah, he's good looking. athletic. He's got the right age. He's only 31 right now. So I was actually trying to get ages that would work even just right now. Like you could almost just same idea. Okay. There's your Apollo.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
You have to give him more of like a rounded fro. Like,
I don't know.
You have to change the hair. But
yeah, I could see it. I could see it. So the next one is for Tony.
Tony, that's right. And he said Donald Glover. Again, Donald Glover, great actor. And I wouldn't say a hard no to Donald because he is and he's actually a good drama actor too. So he would have no problem in being dramatic in a role. But I kind of said no. I'm being selfish because I did my own search too. I think Katie did the same thing. So who do you have?
I'm a little excited for mine.
Sure.
Because he's one of my favorites of all time. If I could choose a man, if I could build a man.
Oh, wow.
Morris Chestnut. Okay. He's in his 50s. Because I think Tony, he came to fame when he played Ricky in Boys in the Hood. And then he was really big in a lot of black cinema, late 90s, early 2000s. But he's been in a ton of stuff. Tony had a little sexy swagger in the original Rocky in his 50s. Morris, and he looks good in a suit.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. I'll allow it.
He still has like a very nice body. He's in his 50s. Like, look at him.
Go. Yeah, like, there's his body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Morris is my pick for Tony.
Okay.
He's even bald now.
Yeah, that's true. I like it. I went with a younger actor. His name is Lakeith Stanfield, but I
know who that is.
Oh, there you go. I think I don't know. Tell me what you think, though.
I like it. I do like that pick. I like him a lot. He is a very good actor. Yeah. In my head, he's too small statured, but I do like him a lot. Daniel Glover is too funny. Like, he's not a serious, I mean, he can be, but to me, in my head, he's not Tony.
I agree. And this is, again, Donald Glover is a great actor. Maybe UK Dave didn't know of these actors that we brought up, but that's fine. Again, great actor, but not necessarily the one I want.
What did Kyle say?
Yes or no to Donald?
I'll say yes. Okay. I suck at this. I'm like not very good.
Stop.
Okay.
Like I just don't know anybody.
No, I did a little bit of homework. I was just treated like a casting director. I'm going to have to still bring them in for a reading. I'm going to see how they do. But this is aesthetics only. Part of this for me is aesthetics. If I don't know the actor, do you at least look the part before you even read for the role type thing? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. For the last one of this episode today, we're doing Gazzo. Big character. Gazzo.
Did you say who Dave's was? It's David Tennant, who I believe is British. And I've seen him in a ton of stuff. I really like him as an actor, but absolutely no for Gazzo.
Okay. Tell me who you say yes for.
Josh Brolin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gazzo?
That's, again, in his 50s. I want Gazzo to be more attractive. I'm saying Josh Brolin for Gazzo.
I wholeheartedly disagree with the concept of Gazzo being more attractive.
The old version of him, that one right there. You don't see him being Gazzo?
I don't
want an attractive person to be Gazzo. One of the things Stallone liked about the actor who played Gazzo is that he wasn't like a typical what you think a mom person would be like. Like he was like taking out of his inhaler and he kind of had a voice like this and like I don't know. I like that about Gazzo. So
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm casting my new Rocky is cast with all attractive people.
Yeah,
I want a younger Steve Buscemi to be Gazzo.
I like it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Steve Buscemi. Yeah. That's my pick.
There you go. It is a prequel to the original Rocky film, so you want him a little bit younger. So he almost looks like there you go.
That would be a great Gazzo. See, I agree with this after all, actually.
Yeah, see, Kyle.
There you go.
I like it. Ladies out there, do you like my picks? Do you like the more attractive versions?
Okay. Show the one of him in uniform. Women like guys in uniform. There you go.
But he's notoriously unattractive, for the record.
Wow. Ouch. Poor Steve. But he's a character actor, and Gazzo was not attractive.
Yeah.
Great pick. I'm going to go with Kyle on this one. However, I still have my pick. I like your pick, Kyle. Don't get me wrong. This is a great known actor pick here for if we could go back in time and make Steve younger. That'd be a great casting choice. Of course, we said we could wave a magic wand for this game. I picked a complete unknown. Okay. I like the way this guy looks.
What's his name?
His name is Lorenzo Riscialmi. He actually is Italian. He's your good-looking guy.
He's too pretty. I don't like it. He's not tough. He's not tough.
No, relax. We okay.
I can immediately
next time I say no to you, I'm going to be a little bit hard. No, okay, no, they don't like it. No. Jeez. Like,
I'm sorry.
I get it. You don't like it, but be a tad more polite about it. Jeez.
Oh, come on. You know me by now. This was a visceral reaction, similarly to my visceral reaction to the person for Rocky. He was too not tough enough, too pretty, too delicate. He's too delicate.
Well, Gazzo is not really a tough guy. He's just an enforcer. But there you go. It's not like he doesn't have a body. There he is.
It's a face thing. He's pretty.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So he's too pretty for Gazzo. Okay. All right. There you go. That was fun. Thank you, UK Dave. We'll do part 3 and the final part next recording. This is why I didn't want to do all 9 in one recording, because it would have taken the whole show. But okay.
Good point.
All right, let's get into it. Here we go. We're at the dinner scene at the Rocky Balboa house. And Kyle, you mentioned on a previous episode that you felt that you remember feeling like Paulie didn't live with the Balboas. Katie and I were on the same page thinking, no, I'm pretty certain Paulie lives in that apartment. Whatever.
And you had me convinced, too, at the end.
Nobody likes being wrong in that sense, but I truly believe, like, all these years that Paulie just lived there. There's a change in the dialogue in the workers' print that really nails the coffin for that. In the original cut, it's insinuated enough that Kyle's intuition was probably correct, how his brain read the dialogue, but the workers' print even makes it more clear.
Something that we should consider when we watch that, because this might be just a writing issue, because if that's true, they kick the kid out of the basement. There are 2 bedrooms upstairs. Well, there has to be 2 bedrooms because it's Paulie and Adrian's house. So there has to be at least 2 bedrooms in the home. And they say, Robert, you can bunk with your uncle. And then Paulie's like, does your plumbing leak?
You're saying stuff that is talked about, but the flow of the conversation does align with Paulie doesn't live there.
This is an issue in writing because they wouldn't have Robert go live in a different house with Paulie.
It's temporary. Tommy just needs a place to crash temporarily. Crash at your uncle's. Hey, can Tommy just crash here for a bit? It's not obviously forever. Are you cool basically having a sleepover at his uncle?
It's super weird, though.
The bedroom argument is what convinced me to change my stance.
There are 2 bedrooms in that house.
I'm very open to being vindicated, though. So.
Yeah, of course you are.
But I agree that there could be 2 bedrooms. But that's an easy argument. An apartment like that being less than 2 bedrooms is ridiculous. But you could argue they did move in from a mansion. They could have had a lot of belongings, and literally could have used 1 bedroom for storage / whatever extra stuff, bedroom to sleep in. And then Robert gets his whole man cave down. So that might have been a selling point for a teenage kid. Hey, you get the basement to yourself, all the space to yourself. Looking at skin magazines, you got this whole place down to yourself. It's private.
It's like, say it's 2 bedrooms upstairs. They wanted to keep their stuff, so it's storage there. And then it's like, okay, well.
Yeah.
They have a spare room. The issue isn't their layout of their house. The issue is Paulie's not there. It happens so much in the Rocky films where it's so ambiguous, but the problem is it's being said. Like, it's enough that they have to say it, but then it's not clear. And this happens so much in the franchise where things are said or shown enough that, hey, we're going to tell the audience XYZ is happening, but we're not going to be clear about it. Like, then why tell us? It is frustrating. It should just be, hey, son, do you mind crashing or sleeping over at your uncle's house for a few nights while we house Tommy? That's it. That would be it. But it's worded in a way that we're not sure. So now we're at the dinner scene. It plays out as per normal. This whole dinner scene has very little workers' print interruption.
And this kid smack your face for, huh?
It really doesn't matter, Dad.
It does matter if they took his coat.
No.
I don't want the...
So we talked about that earlier, that, the same day, it was weird. He got his coat stolen. It all happened in one day. So now they're finding out the jacket's stolen. So he had his jacket stolen, got mugged, and then he walked home with Jewel, and now he's at supper.
What do you guys think of Tommy's hair? Are you going to bring that back?
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. The mullet's back. Every style comes back.
I have nephews, and I'm just like, stop with your hair. It does not look good. Like, boys' hair. It's not great.
Even modern hockey players have more or less ditched the mullet. Early 2000s hockey players still had mullets, I believe. So I'm against the mullet. I'm firmly, staunchly against it.
Old ass Katie making a negative judgment about the youngins nowadays, but their hairstyles and their clothing styles, it's like you're trying to look bad. It doesn't look good. Like, it's not flattering. Even somebody that has a cute little body, they wear really unattractive clothes and hair. It's like, are you trying to look bad?
Took the one with the collar. I'm going to go to your school tomorrow and just...
Look, you only make these worse if you go. Can I do what I think is right?
Well, what do you think is right?
A baseball bat across the face.
All right, so classic line there. A lot of conversations here. I like it. Adrian's saying she's going to go to the school, talk to them, and of course, Robert's like, no, do not go. He's wise enough to know about that. Like, if you go, mommy coming to save me is going to make things worse for me. Don't stand up for me. I got to deal with this on my own. And Rocky then asks, well, what do you think is right? And I kind of wish we got to hear what Robert was going to do, because Paulie comes in with this great line. It's funny as an audience. Baseball bat across the face is funny, but we never get to hear what Robert's plan was.
I like that Rocky asked that question, like open-ended question, kind of discussing, seeing how his son feels. We're going to give Rocky a win in the parenting column here. We give him a lot of shit for being a bad parent. We're going to put a little tick in the win column for him here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But then he does talk about wanting to fight. So maybe that was the solution, because he asked his dad, can you teach me how to fight? So maybe that's what he was thinking. But
Paulie, what are you telling this kid? Adrian, you have to play it
I'm
too.
sorry. Yes, Rocky.
I had trouble like that one time when I was in school. It seemed like every day I got chased by this one kid. Till one day my mother said to me, she said, just pretend the guy's like a balloon.
Balloon?
She said, if you pop him hard, these guys just go away.
So the mom giving Tommy advice as a kid: you want to get rid of the bully? Stand up to him, pop him.
Which is basically what Paulie said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Paulie's was an extreme thing where, like, you could smash all the bones in the guy's face, but
one will land you in jail, probably.
You're young enough that you still wouldn't do time for that
True.
shit.
Rocky's amused by this. Adrian is not.
When I watched this movie as a kid, when I was 15, Tommy's story was what we were still doing then. Like, this was, I didn't watch this and go, oh, that's crazy. Those were those days. Like, Tommy Morrison is actually only 4 years older than me. So when I saw this in the theaters, this actor or boxer was only 4 to 5 years older than me. So his life and my life was very similar growing up.
Even like for me, and I'm like 9 years younger than you, I got in 3 fist fights my first year at junior high.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. You got to stand up for yourself. Like, you can't have people bully you. I only got in like 1 fist fight after that, like in like 9th grade. Feel like that's less of a thing now.
Yeah.
It is. And Adrian is, for 1990, what she was about to say is very progressive for this time.
Yes, bless Adrian. Bless her heart.
I mean, she's right, though.
Tommy, we're trying to raise our son so he can handle his problems with his mind, not his muscles.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
why I'm
Dad.
getting...
Robert thinks says, that's why I'm getting mangled.
This is the thing. Like, so you have that attitude, which is morally, I agree with. I agree morally, you should be solving your problems with your mind and not being in violent physical altercations with other people. But on the other hand, if you're forced into that situation, then what are you going to do? Like, you can't. Like,
You have to stand up for yourself. Yeah.
That's middle ground. So you're right.
Yeah.
Katie is the Adrian. I agree. Again, we agree with Adrian. Of course, we're not going around with baseball bats like Paulie, counting everyone we don't agree with. But Robert is the middle ground. He's the Porge is just right, meaning, yes, Mom, I hear you. I am a smart guy. I didn't come in attacking at the school, but the reason why I'm getting mangled is because I'm the brainiac nerdy kid. And right now, I'm getting mangled because of it.
Get mangled.
Oh, you ain't going to get mangled.
Dad, will you teach me how to fight?
A baseball bat would be nice.
Come on, do you want to grow up and just use your fists?
Adrian, I don't think it'd be so bad if I taught him how to throw a few deadly punches,
how stupid are you that you're going to phrase it like that?
I know.
What you would say is, I don't think it would be too bad to teach Robert a few things to defend himself so he could stay
Defend
safe.
himself, yes.
So he could stay safe. That's how I put it. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to teach him a deadly punch so he could kill someone. Yeah, that's really got to go over well, dude.
Maybe he was trying to be silly. I don't know if that was a Rocky thing for the dinner table or for the audience. You know what I mean by that? Is this a funny thing for the audience or for the dinner table? But
Stallone in humor, like, sometimes he has a few things that are kind of funny. His sense of humor is not the best. It's like self-deprecation. Sense of humor is really good. But other than that, I'm like, don't try to do jokes, dude.
Knock, knock. So now Robert asks Tommy, did your dad teach you how to fight? In a roundabout way.
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Couple things here, and I could be wrong, but I think Tommy Morrison, who plays Tommy Gunn here, of course, I think he's speaking biographical.
Oh, okay.
Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments to a certain degree. Now, whether or not Tommy Morrison knocked out his dad, or that was the first person he knocked out. I don't know.
Are you still in touch with Trisha?
What I'll do is when this actually gets released on YouTube, I'll just tag this, at least this time part, and then have her watch this. So here's the question I have for Trisha. If you're watching this segment right now, Tommy's about to give the dialogue here about his upbringing, and the way Tommy does deliver it, it's either really good acting, or Tommy is actually Morrison is tapping into something that was real as he's describing the story, because it feels very real.
Tommy, did your dad teach you to fight?
No, not exactly. I had to.
Come on, sweetheart, just don't get personal.
No, it's okay. See, my old man, he used to drink a lot, seriously. He'd go out with his friends and tie one on, then he'd come home and look to punch on me. You know, he'd punch on my mother, too. He did that a lot of times. You know, so growing up, I never really thought about fighting anybody but my father. You know, when I was 13, I got in trouble at school. He tied me down and he whipped me so bad I couldn't walk for a week. Just couldn't do anything. But I tell you, the first guy I ever knocked out was my father. And now when I get in the ring, it's like all I see is him. It's kind of sick, huh?
All the Balboas are like, whoa, you know, like
it's like holy shit. This like How do we make this already awkward conversation
now what do we say?
More awkward? Yeah.
There's got to be something biographical in there, but I'll ask Trisha if that's true or not. And then secondly, I agree with Jared here, who just chimed in. Jared, welcome to the show, longtime friend of the show. He says one of the best line deliveries in the movie. And that's why, because Tommy's not an actor. No offense to Tommy Morrison, he's not by trade an actor. This is his first movie. He's by trade a boxer. That's why I feel like it might be real, because it was just it's easy to draw from what's real. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to think about it. You're just, hey, I'm telling you a story that he's probably told before about my upbringing, but I'm doing it at the Balboa dinner table. But I do like the acting around the table by the actors, because it is a real moment, because you don't want to stop him, though they are uncomfortable, because this is very deeply personal. It's a tragic story about abuse, but they let him speak it. And it's that weird combination of, this is a new person at our table sharing something very deep and personal, something that isn't pleasant, but we have to let him talk. Can't stop him from talking. And then Rocky does his classic, but what's very telling here is Sly / he's talking about his own personal life here, about his father. His father was a dick to him in real life.
You're right. It's always bothered me, though, this line delivery, because it's like a boo-hoo one-upsmanship. Rocky's saying, "Oh, you had it better than me, because at least you had a dad."
Yeah, there's arguments to be made there, and I think what Rocky's trying to do, I think he's trying to be a little bit light.
He is
trying to ease the tension a little bit. I don't think it's so much like my life was worse. He's saying, at least the character is saying here, and we kind of talked about this, that we get in Rocky Balboa that his dad was in jail. There was that he talked about his dad being in prison. So yeah, he referred to his dad being at the Arches, which we had to Google was the prisons there in Philly. Rocky is saying here, well, I didn't have an old man to knock. I think what he's saying is, yeah, of course, we understand what he's saying, that you had some sort of presence there when I had nothing to even bounce off of. I was completely neglected to the point that I didn't even have a father. But you're right. He didn't get the crap beat out of him, though. You're right.
It's kind of saying, look on the bright side, which is like,
it's a weird way of doing it.
Really minimizes what he's trying to say, right? That's kind of expecting a level of emotional intelligence that Rocky wouldn't have.
He just doesn't have it. Yeah, he's not a trained psychologist. It's his Rocky wisdom.
Not?
He's caught off guard too. He doesn't know how to handle this. This is oof.
Hey, old Tommy, at least you had an old man to knock out, you know.
Adrian's like, oof. Everyone's uncomfortable. But of course, Paulie likes to break the tension with his joke coming up here.
Oh, didn't even have that, you know.
Yeah, someday you can punch out your pup. Hey, yo.
Now that works. Stallone wrote that, you know? Yeah. Or do you think that Burt wrote?
Stallone wrote that. It's pretty good, though. I like that.
It is good.
Paulie, what are you telling the kid things like this?
Hey, it's the fittest of the survival.
It's the fittest of the survival.
I love that so much.
So now Rocky goes right into it. Hey, Tommy, you want to stay here tonight? Talk about bringing the wild animal home, eh? Regardless of the Balboa set up in their home currently and the reasons why they've done it, the issue isn't that. Let's just focus on the issue. The issue is, does Paulie live at the house?
Hey, Tommy, where are you staying tonight? You got a place?
Oh, I'll find some place to stay. I mean,
no, I tell you, we got room down in the basement. It's not, it's nice. I don't know.
What about me?
Wait a minute, sweetheart, your son is sleeping down.
No, well, he can stay with his uncle, right? That's my pit stop.
He could stay with his uncle. When I heard it worded like that That's not how you say stay with your uncle if it was just his bedroom. That's the wording you would use to stay somewhere that's not here. What do you guys think?
It is dumb. You would think Paulie would be in the upstairs room. There's no reason why he wouldn't be. However, if we're just going off the dialogue alone, notwithstanding the writing issue, it does sound like Paulie is in a different place.
It is an odd way of wording it. Rocky words things oddly.
Okay. And then Paulie says, what am I, a pit stop? A pit stop means right. I'm off course. I'm somewhere different. The workers print, because it's not canon, it's not officially canon, it's worded even better for Kyle's position. If somebody came to this movie not knowing the layout of the home, let's just say they didn't know if upstairs had 1 or 2 bedrooms. They didn't know. It just doesn't sound like Paulie lives there. You stay with your uncle. Paulie then says, what am I, a pit stop? The person says, what does a pit stop mean? Well, you're on a racetrack. You have to pull off the racetrack, go into a pit stop. You're no longer. So that means Paulie's not there. He's not at the racetrack. He's a pit stop. You have to go somewhere different to go with Paulie.
We do know that Rocky says things funnily. And stay with your uncle could just mean in his room.
So I think Paulie doesn't live there.
Yeah, remember he walked out of the gym. That's how that whole started too, because the way he talked about walking out of the gym, I'm going to go back to my place. Kyle presented new evidence I've never seen before, and it was fascinating. I'm excited by the new evidence, so maybe I'm a little bit more excited about something new than the idea that Paulie just lives there. So here is the workers' prints coming up fairly soon, I think, and the word needs even a little bit stronger, but that indicates what Sly might have been writing, is what I'm saying too.
What about me? Sweetheart, your son's sleeping down there.
Well, you want to stay with your uncle? That's okay.
You want to stay with your uncle. So that sounds even more stay with your uncle. Is that something you say when he's just his bedroom? I thought the workers' print was even more, but I guess maybe not. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, you're not wrong that the wording suggests that.
My pit stop?
Nice. Hey, I don't want to cause any problems. I mean, I can find some place to stay.
No, it's okay. It's just for a little while, Right? No problem at all. It'll be all right. Hey, kid, appreciate it. It's all right. It's cold outside.
Hey, I'm not changing those sheets.
Hey, since when have you ever? Hey, Tommy, why don't you come on down and we'll show you the whole place.
It does allude to them sharing a bed.
You can almost imagine that he would have an extra bed in Mickey's place more than he's sharing a bed with his nephew. That's kind of weird. So is it more likely he's sleeping with Robert in the same bed, or he's changing sheets for Robert in a bed at his place? But maybe he is. Maybe it's a very comfortable relationship. They can chill.
Hey, I'll tell you, you want to hear a joke? What's worse than ants in your pants?
What?
Uncles.
Oh, geez.
Oh, my God.
I like it. There you go.
Oh, my God.
So let us know in the comment. I'd be interested in the YouTube comment.
Yeah.
People can comment. I'm with you, Kate. Everything you're saying, I felt that way for 30 years. I just want to make that clear. Since I was 15 years old, so I guess 35 years I felt your way. So I get it. I'm just saying, Kyle, he's the one that brought new light to this, which is fascinating. That this is it's an odd thing, but it's because it's so incredibly unclear. That's what makes it frustrating.
Yeah,
that it would just take one word, place, one indication, second bed, some sort of indication, or Rocky doesn't say, "Can you stay with Paulie upstairs?" It's just weird how we're missing one word in every sentence to indicate where is this location.
It's or room, thing. Like if the room or place.
Room, place.
Yeah.
It's just so funny how we just never, ever find out. And no matter how you slice, there's no way to prove it.
Right.
Yeah, sweetheart, why don't you go downstairs, show your father what you did today? Come on. Come on.
Boy, a lot happened in this one day.
Yeah, it was you're right. You're right. He got the crap kicked out of his school, and he built that display the same day.
In the hour and a half between school and dinner.
That's funny. Good point. Yeah.
Hey, Junior, your plumbing don't leak, do it?
I love the stink eye Robert gives.
That's good.
You know this guy?
Yeah, he hits hard.
Did she just give him coffee and he poured booze into it?
Yeah.
Of course. You see how that doesn't even faze her, that he's poured booze into coffee.
So my question is, what's her reaction to the idea that he hits hard?
I just think it's a stupid comment she's brushing off. Like, it does make him seem more dangerous, which is not good when he's living in your house. But you can see how exasperated she is. To some degree, she's conflicted because I think obviously she doesn't want Tommy living in her house. And she especially doesn't like the fact that Tommy's taking over her son's room. Like, she's very protective of him, as she should be. Also, though, I think she sees like kind of the life that Tommy's bringing to Rocky. It's giving Rocky like a sense of purpose.
That's where I lean towards, was that we're back here again. The idea that he hits hard to her is like, oh, there's potential here for Rocky to get wrapped up in this again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's such a good actor. Like, you can just see by her facial expression, like, she really looks legitimately exasperated right now.
I agree with you, Ryan, that like she's like, just like, we really don't need this in our life right now.
Yeah.
We don't need this kind of man in our life.
We don't.
So, you know, Adrian, man, she can really cook. Yeah, she's
So there's the answer. She is a good cook. Okay. All right.
okay. Listen,
Who's Italians?
That's right. The Italians.
I swear they had a meat grinder on the counter, like behind Rocky.
I thought it was a coffee maker.
Well, there's a coffee maker, but I swear there's like one of those, like those things like you rotate.
Oh,
like
there was a lot of shit on the counter. It was driving me a little nuts. I didn't like all that clutter.
Yes, you do keep a very neat home, Katie.
Well, thanks.
It's tonight, so we'll get it together in a little while. You know? Oh, wow, man, this is what it's all about.
So Robert builds this thing for his dad, but Tommy's the first one to comment on it. This was built for Rocky to see, and Rocky will get excited by it, but poor Rocky, Tommy's the one that has to like, wow, this is amazing, this is what it's all about. The medals, the belts, all the trophies.
It ends up being a moment between Rocky and Tommy instead of a moment between Rocky and Robert.
So Louise is a great comment here about Adrian. Rocky 5 is my least favorite version of her, Adrian. She seems like a frumpy grandma than a mid-40s wife. It is weird. She's 44 in this film. 44.
I think they just have her dressed that way. Like she's tired. I think they purposefully made her that way.
She didn't have to.
The woman's beaten down.
Yeah.
She nailed it. She nailed the role. Because there's a couple times where she looks better than she, like, even the dinner scene right at the end there, she actually looked pretty good.
Very.
Right, with the glasses and then some like, okay, stop
She's like a grandma apron on. Yeah. I think men look their best in their 40s.
Oh, it's too late for me.
I'm hoping so.
It takes you guys a little bit to look like a man.
No, I missed
that. Whereas like women, it's just unfortunate. Like we do start to look older sooner than you guys do.
I've got 10 months left to make that happen before I hit 50. Because then I'm going to start looking old very quickly.
No, you got good genes, it looks like.
That's filters.
Well, why do you keep this stuff down here? Well, when'd you get a chance to do this? You took your...
Brock said, this wasn't me. It was my son. When did you have time to do this? It's all too much. Tommy's commenting on it like it's always been there. But Rocky's like, no, this was just put together. My son just put this together right next to his bed.
It's sad, too, that you make a shrine to your dad that is by your own bed, like your living space. And then your dad's like, you're not living here anymore. You're being exiled to wherever Paulie's room is.
And now Tommy gets to take your place.
Robert just got cucked, so to speak.
Well, you're going to see more in the workers' print. There's a scene that makes it more pathetic, actually.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even joking. Maybe that's why they took it out. You'll see.
Everything out of a box and fix this up like it's beautiful. And you painted. When'd you get a chance to do this, kid?
And right after I got mugged and punched, I came home and built this for you. That's exactly when he did it. It's so weird.
Does he say Robert ever? Does he use his name?
So.
Kid.
Not until 6, right?
Yeah, 6 he does. You're right. Yeah.
After school. It's no big deal.
So he did do it after school. I forgot he actually said that. Yeah. There you go, Katie. He got beaten up, came home, did his homework, built the shrine for his dad, and yeah. Now he's getting kicked out of his room all the same day.
All the same day.
It's a rough day, man.
It is a bad day, yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what'd you get the glove? Oh, this? Yeah. Well, thanks. This is one of my
So already away from the shrine. We're done with the shrine. Now we're talking about Rocky's cufflink.
favorite objects, like Mickey gave me this, before he departed. It was Rocky Marciano's cufflink that we had fixed, Really?
That we had fixed. Does he just mean that we put a chain on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The real Rocky Marciano? Yeah. You got me thinking about Mickey. I want to show you something. Come on. Well, he told me a long time ago. He says that,
Because I want to show you something. Let's move away from the shrine. Let's just have this conversation away from my kid over here. He didn't have to leave, but it's just funny. He goes, I want to show you something. But the showing is just some Rocky wisdom. It's so odd that he had to...
They moved to the heavy bag, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. This is the makeshift gym down there. We got to have some gym discussion next to the gym equipment, not next to my son's bed.
Fighting is like 90% in the skull and 10% in the body. This is what he says to me.
Hey, Dad, I met this really nice girl today. She's great.
Oh, yeah, really? It's wonderful.
Yeah, she's a lot better than Sarah.
Who's Sarah? I don't remember that.
Probably some chick at his preppy school from the past.
I'm not remembering that ever.
There's nothing this line at all, you mean?
Yeah, I don't remember that line.
Hey, I cringe so bad at this scene when he shuts his son down like that. I would feel so awful if my dad ever did something like that to me.
Of course, yeah. Well, like I said, they do a great job. I mean, this is father-son acting here and shutting his kid down. Kids, don't change the station. I'll get it right back with you. It's kind of a great line, but Robert does come first. This is all too much, meaning like Rocky is having a conversation. Robert did interrupt I'm not saying he's not more important. I'm just saying Rocky was in the middle of a conversation. Kids interrupting the conversation. Yes, the kid's more important. So Rocky's saying, look, I do want to hear what you have to say. I'll get back to you. I promise.
However, you're right. He is technically interrupting. However, the whole purpose of them going downstairs was so that Robert could show him. And so
no. Rocky didn't know that. Remember, Adrian told Robert, go show your dad what you did, but Rocky didn't hear that conversation.
Rocky had already left.
Oh, okay.
It was all too much at once.
Yeah.
Rocky was not given any heads up about the display. It was supposed to be a surprise, but he was showing Tommy his new room.
He doesn't go back to ever talking to his son about this girl.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Your mom likes to hear stuff like that. Oh no, that's different. That's a different scene.
That's for the jacket. Yeah.
Don't change the station. I'll be right back with you. I just want to tell Tommy a few things. Hey, who's your best friend back in Orlando?
Oh, that's so.
Remember the answer?
Mm-hmm. Frankie Fear, right?
No, his best friend. Remember this is a trivia question.
Yeah,
I got it wrong.
Oh yeah,
Eric Elder.
There you go. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Wow, I already lost it. It came and went.
Oklahoma. Well, yeah.
Eric Elder.
No. Your best friend is a guy named Frankie Fear. You see, Fear is a fighter's best friend. You know, there ain't nothing to be ashamed of. See, Fear.
So interesting that Tommy looks at his son there for a second. He gives a side glance to Robert, almost like, is he feeling awkward that Robert's there or that he's being ignored? But Tommy does a side glance to Robert during this whole conversation, referring to Robert over there. I've always noticed it, but I don't know what it means.
Well, it is an awkward thing. He is interrupting some time with his son.
So does Tommy pick that up? Is he picking it up that he's taking over his son's time? I wonder. Like,
you would, wouldn't you?
Well, Rocky's not aware of it. So
it's either that or he's like, what's wrong with your dad? He seems a little.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We could go 5 different directions with what that look means, but I've always noticed the look that Tommy Morrison / Gunn does looking at Robert. Yeah. It's never explained or really.
Yeah, it keeps you sharp, it keeps you awake, you know, it makes you want to survive, you know what I mean? But the thing is, you gotta learn how to control it, all right? Because fear is like this fire, all right? And it's burning deep inside. Now, if you control it, Tommy, it's gonna make you hot. But you see, if this thing here, it controls you, it's gonna burn you and everything else around you up.
I hate this so much.
I'd like to present my evidence of Sly Stallone ripping this off directly from another person. Custom auto thing. It's like really short.
It was like fire. You let it get out of control and destroy you and everything around. You manage to control it, you make it worse. With me, guy comes to me with a spark. I fan the spark until it becomes a flame. I feed the flame until it becomes a fire. And I feed the fire until it becomes a roaring flame. That's what I have to do.
It is a direct ripoff.
Yeah.
But his manners, it's cringy the way he acts here.
The hand movements, he's looking around. It's bad acting. I think what we're supposed to see is he's feeling enlivened. He's feeling thrilled again. He's excited about the idea that he's going to mentor someone. It's exciting to him. He's just bubbling with excitement, but the presentation that Sly gives isn't very good.
Anyway, these are the things that was taught to me, and if you want, I'd like to teach to you.
So this mean you're gonna manage me?
Hey, again, not a great delivery by Tom. Maybe.
Again, this is what, like 2 hours ago later from when he was like, nah.
Well, this is what you talked about earlier, Kyle, when you said that Rocky's a bit of a pushover, for better or for worse. So right now he's being pushed over to this part now where he's like, I'm gonna manage you. Yeah, this is great. He's kind of like a dog, just easily manipulated. So here, go there, go do that, go do this. Just focus, Rocky, on something.
Your son.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, home team. Okay.
All right.
Let's go for it.
Rock.
Now, of course, Robert's all pissed off. But, Robert, you didn't like it. And no offense, but you didn't show your dad very much excitement when you did the home team. With home team. So, Tommy's excited by it.
Oh,
Maybe
that's rough, though.
I know. And then, of course, Tommy's like, hey, would you mind showing me a few things? Oh, boy. This is very reminiscent of You Gotta Be Curious.
He's feeding his ego.
If you listen to the innuendo here, it gets a little bit...
As long as we're down here, do you mind showing me a few things?
Sure, Tommy. I'm going to show you a lot of things.
That's what I mean. Like, whoa, Robert, you better leave. Okay, but here is the alternate cut workers print. It's more pathetic. Poor Robert it's almost too much. This is probably why they cut it out.
Who's your best friend?
Eric Elder.
No. Your best friend is a guy named Frankie Fear. You see, Fear is a fighter's best friend. Because deep down inside, Fear is like this fire. Okay? And if you...
Okay, just for our audio listeners, what we see that you don't see the audio listener is Robert's now packing up his stuff. So Rocky's giving the same dialogue, more or less. And we see a scene of Robert packing up his stuff, getting his stuff ready to go to Paulie's.
Control.
Or Paulie's room. Paulie's apartment or Paulie's room.
No.
Paulie's space, wherever that may be.
I was just going to comment on, aside from that, if that's because a lot of these work prints are much darker.
Yeah.
This is a better take. In Rocky's delivery, it's better.
It's more subdued.
Mm-hmm.
More subdued. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. And it's actually an interesting cut, too, because we're hearing Rocky's dialogue to Tommy, but we, the viewer, we're watching Robert's like, I guess I'm done here. I guess it's more sad, pathetic for Robert's character.
You control it, it's gonna make you hot. But if it controls you, forget about it. It's gonna burn you and everything else around you like up.
So again, for our audio listeners, he's got his big blanket, pillow packed up with his school books inside there, and listen to what Rocky says to his son here.
Poof, gone. Hey, kid, could you do me a favor and just leave that there for Tommy? Because, it gets a little cold down here. Come on. Will you do that?
What?
He tells his kid to put the stuff back. Tommy needs your...
Oh, my God. Wow. Poor Robert.
Hey, way to go, champ.
Hey, way to go, champ. That's what he says to his son as he puts it back.
Anyways, fear is what keeps you going. It keeps you from doing stupid things. It keeps you very, very smart. Keeps you awake and makes you sharp, but it's going to make you want to survive. Anyway, these are the things that was teach to me and I was going to teach to you.
Does this mean you're going to manage me?
Absolutely, kid. Whole team. I'll tell you, you got something.
He doesn't even say goodbye or anything to his kid.
That last look Robert gives at the end there too on the stairs is looks a kill.
Well, this is more evidence as to the Rocky Balboa, aka 6, Robert.
Yeah. Even though spoiler alert for those who are watching along with this film, they make amends by the end of the film, but there's some damage. Damage is done. All right, let's get to it, folks. Answers to the trivia questions. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tuna fish.
Tuna fish who?
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
It doesn't follow the standard format of a knock-knock joke.
Rocky says things weird. That's what makes it funny to me is that he doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah, good point.
I'm just curious, other than the knock-knock format, I like this joke because it's so...
It's just a format error.
It's different because Rocky's given it. He speaks that way. But that's what makes it so ridiculous, I think. Because the idea of tuning a fish, I don't know why. It's such a funny image. Anyways.
There's another reason I think you like it. Dad jokes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right. Sorry, I've been a dad for so long. I'm like, this is who I am. Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Okay, I got this one wrong. What colors are Tommy's robe? What did you put for the championship fight?
God, I thought it was like white with black trim.
Okay, Katie?
Blue and white.
Kyle got it right.
All right.
God damn it, Kyle.
I said blue and white too because the only thing I remember is his jacket. So I thought maybe his jacket represented his boxer colors.
And then his sweatsuit that he had on and his shorts originally. It was blue with black trim. Is that what you said, Kyle?
Well, white with black trim.
Oh.
I looked up the conversation with my coworker. They actually called me to tell me why it didn't work, so I don't have the written thing.
Oh.
Okay. Who gave Tommy his car? Of course, we all got that. George Washington Duke. I assume everyone said Duke, right?
Mm-hmm. The weight one will be interesting.
Katie, give me your number. I don't know the answer.
228.
Okay. Kyle?
235.
Oh, I went way too low.
Shit, Kyle's probably right. I said 228.
Kyle, what did you say?
235.
242.
All right.
I was going to say 232, but then I was like, he's not big.
Last thing, of course, we all got this. Who says there ain't no fighting contest? Of course, it was Rocky.
Kyle got all freaking 5 of them.
Yeah, he did. So I got 3, Kyle. I got 3. Make sure you get me for 3, please.
I did. Katie,
I got 3.
I am now ahead by 3 points.
I knew it.
Okay, so this is actually officially the end of Rocky 5's questions. We have bonus questions, so we'll do it at the end. But this is the end of Rocky 5, so we have to tally the scores.
Is Rocky Balboa in this?
Yep. We're going to do the bonus questions at the end of Rocky Balboa when we have extra.
I see.
We're just for the whole series.
Got it.
So, Ryan, you got 31 for Rocky 5. Katie got 28.
Whoa.
And I got 36.
Okay.
I lost big time.
Yeah, Rocky 5 really helped boost me.
You know, he always has his judge's scorecard. What that means is each segment is, so for example, if you got 0 out of 50, Rocky never agrees to train Tommy. Like he has little story scenarios next. So we all fell into 20 to 40, right? We fell into the 4th category. Tommy never gets back up after the first knockdown in the street fight. That's what that is.
I did see a comment that Luis, he says, is there supposed to be any parallel to how Mickey mistreats Rocky in the beginning of their relationship?
Well, it's a good call.
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, everyone, that was an amazing, obviously fun, good, passionate discussions, which I like. With that, though, this episode's over.
I didn't hear no bell.
I just want to